So yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. I'd like to talk to you about the latest price action from today because we did really break a very important level here, and I have decided to follow actually the triangle path here. I mentioned it now a few times in the previous videos that we can either count this here as a 1 2 1 2, or we can just count it as a triangle, and I think I'm going that way. The reason is just what happened back here. That just looks so triangle wave-like that I'm going to adjust the wave count here into that, which doesn't really change the scenario. All it does, it basically moves the wave 4 back here. But it would mean the wave 4 is finished today. So this is what I'm currently considering here. Find it actually quite likely, given that we have seen some cryptos today that have already made that move below the low from the 12th of May. I'm still expecting that move for Bitcoin as well. We are seeing currently some altcoins really suffering, Ethereum as well, one of them. And we've seen that before, quite a few weeks ago now, where we had a weekend where the altcoins suffered quite a lot. Bitcoin didn't, but Bitcoin followed then, I think, a couple of weeks later. But yeah, how would we label this wave Y now? So I said to you before that the triangle pattern here is one that I'd be considering, and I think I'm going that way. And with regards to that triangle, let us label that together, and then we can talk about what we would primarily expect next. So here, Elliott Wave triangle from the low of the wave X. We can move up here in a wave A. Then what we saw here is a wave B, a wave C, a wave, no, I think I went, no, this would then be the wave D here, let me just think, D, E, yeah, and that would suggest that we have finished the wave E here. That is also where the wave 4 finished and where the wave Y finished, basically. So after this wave 4, what is important generally when you have a triangle like that? Well, I did say to you before, to really get a confirmation that and even if you label that in any way different here, those subwaves, it wouldn't make a difference. Because what is important for a triangle to break the triangle, to invalidate the triangle, in such a move, you would expect a move to the downside, to the opposite side of the wave E. Honestly, I think after all of these videos about all these triangles, everybody now knows how a triangle works, Elliott Wave triangle. So hopefully over the last few days and weeks, that was good education. But you would expect a triangle to break to the downside. In this case, if the wave E is up, you would expect the price action to move out of the triangle to the downside. That happened today. What is important in the first instance is to move below the low of a wave D. We did that. We moved below the low of the wave D. And also very important is that, and that is even more important, the confirmation. So the low of the wave D, that this was violated, is an indication that the start of the impulse down is starting, basically. But confirmation for that is the violation of the wave B. So unless it really does something very exotic here, I think we can say with greater confidence that the wave 4 has finished now and that we are starting to move lower again. What we ultimately need to do is to move below that 28.6K level and then the 28K level, which is that wave X low, which we still haven't taken out. I think below that wave X low, we will see significant price action to the downside. Taking out then also here the wave 3 low from the 12th of May at 25.4K, and then eventually to move down lower, maybe into the low 20K area, where we would then eventually, hopefully finish the correction. That is what I'm currently looking at here. And that would also mean here now that we've just started here a wave 1. This might now be a wave 2 to the upside, retracement, and then we should see in one of the next waves down, the wave 3, which should be quite strong. So that's what I'm looking at, but it's a good sign for our primary scenario that we are going to move lower, that, in fact, we broke here this wave B low, which would suggest further price action to the downside is unfolding. Very interesting though today that Bitcoin did hold really well compared especially also to the stock market. We had a significant drop, for example, within the S&P 500, but Bitcoin really, it did move, but not too significantly. So that's actually quite interesting. Shows you how significant that support that we have here actually is, sort of between 29 and 28.6K. But nevertheless, we broke that triangle, so we can now expect with greater confidence a move down. Invalidation point for the triangle would be at 30.3K. Yeah, so above that level we would expect higher prices, all the way up to 31.5K in the first instance, and then 32.4K. And to the downside, we now have support at 28.6K and 28K, and primarily I would expect to move down, but I also think we would now, if this was a wave 1, we would see a little bit further upside, yeah, in this possibly upcoming wave 2 here. But this is really micro counting what we're doing here, and these often get invalidated, these micro counts, but we would count this as a wave 1 down, and then the wave 2 here to the upside should get sort of into the region between 29.6K and 30K before we then move down in a wave 3 again. And yeah, this is really everything that we can say about the chart now. I just want to keep you updated, highlight that those levels were broken, give you an idea of the next moves, and also what we could possibly expect during the weekend. So hopefully it will be an interesting weekend. We made a bit of a start today. What is so interesting is that some cryptos really moved significantly out of this pattern here. Bitcoin hasn't really yet, but yeah, maybe the altcoins made a start, and Bitcoin is then one of the next ones that is going to follow, as we've seen it before. Also, let's maybe take a final look here at the overall daily chart here for Bitcoin. Still here in this wave 2 correction down here, after we had a wave 1 to the upside here in April 21, then this ABC correction within a wave 2. Still expect this wave 2 to finish here sort of in the low 20K area, and even if it drops a little bit below that, not too much of a problem. In the end, we obviously look oftentimes at the Fibonacci retracement levels also for many altcoins, and we often talk about the 88.7% Fib level and how relevant that is for altcoins. Well, for Bitcoin, it is also super relevant. So, I mean, in a wave 2 here, generally, the 78.6% Fib level would also be a viable target. We talked about that also for Bitcoin. I mentioned in a few videos before that, you know, if we lose the 20K, we look at 16.7K here. That's the 78.6K level, and I wouldn't even rule out the 10.6K level, but that would be a significant drop. And if we really get to that level, which I currently don't see, yeah, I mean, I could live with the 16.7K level, but I don't really think we're going to see 10.6K. That would really destroy some altcoins. Honestly, it would destroy some altcoins. But this is also the level below which I would say Bitcoin is getting into dangerous territory. Yeah, there should not be a move below the 10.6K level. This is the absolute worst case. At the latest, Bitcoin needs to turn around here to the upside, but I don't even think we're going to get there. All right, and that is my view about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.